Hello all. Before we begin the video, let's discuss CloudFoundation. CloudFoundation is the premier online training platform to help individuals and organizations gain knowledge and skills in the ever-growing cloud computing industry.
Okay. Yeah, so where is this? I didn't mean Suite Script, but do we have to? Define a suitelet here. No, we will. This entire piece is inside a suitelet. I just told you how we do it. We'll talk about the entire. We will utilize the same suitelet we saw during the suitelet discussion, and we'll try to add this additional button and function there. Yeah, got it. Okay, yeah. So what we do as soon as you create a form, right after creating a form, you can set this client script path. So we'll see that example. But any questions on how we do it like this is how we do it. We'll see an example, for sure. Sure, okay. So this is about. We'll see all these examples there. But now the second thing is calling. So in the similar way, you can call a client script from a user event also, like you found out, client script module path, because user event is also working on a particular form. You do get form, and then use the same thing. So you can utilize this on the user event also if there's a need. Sure, okay. Now this client script calling part is done. Now second thing is, how do we, for example, how we call a schedule script from user event, for that matter. So there is this module called task, okay, and so we have this module called task. Where are the members? So what we do using task module? We create a task, and task could be anything to create, maybe to task action, record action, or maybe task create. Let me show you see the API itself directly. So we have this under task module. We have this API called task create. Using this, we can create any number of tasks. For the first thing, what we are seeing is schedule script. So what we need to do task create, okay, and the task create, we will have parameter as task type, and then you have the script ID, deployment ID, and then, if there are any parameters now here, first is this task type. So our task type would be schedule. That is the script. Second is script ID, which will be the internal ID of the script record, and then third thing you have is deployment ID. That will be the internal ID of deployment record. And fourth thing, which is an optional parameter, which is an optional thing, it's params. Which, if the script has any parameter, then we'll set the parameter values. That is an optional. Okay, now what it does. Consider it in this way, like we are assigning or we are asking NetSuite engine to, or we are giving it a task, like we have created a task which will be sent to the NetSuite or the execution engine. Now engine will understand that there's a task created. And, based on that, as soon as you call this, you create this task and then you submit it. Like, you create the task and then you submit the task. So there are two APIs. Task create and task submit. So when you submit the task, this task will actually be submitted on the back end. For example, if you're calling a schedule script, the schedule script running or executing execution task will be submitted to the back end. The engine will go to script ID and deployment ID and start executing it. Similarly, you can using the task module, we can submit a CSV import. We can submit. I think there are a number of activities, if I'm not wrong. You can have. You can merge duplicate record. You can run MapReduce thing. You can run schedule script. You have record action task query, task schedule script. You can submit a search also. So all that, you can trigger a workflow as well. So there are multiple activities you can do using a task module. So for all of them, so you can do a safe sorry. You can do a do safe search also. See safe search. You can directly run using search load, but here you can. Using search, task search task. It is actually just search ID. Set the file ID or the file path for a CSV in the cabinet and dependent script to the search task using this. Submit the search task using this. Of the search task using the property. Save search ID file path. Submit what it does. So I think it actually gives you data into a CSV file. Yes, so basically, if you want to, you provide your search ID, you provide the file name, and then what it will do. It will export the entire data into the file, and it will put it into that particular directory or that particular file, and then you can go and download the file. So what happens is when you work or when you come across a scenario where you have a search which has high volume of write, so it becomes tricky for you to download because it takes a lot of time. Right. You click on download and then you have to wait for a few minutes and on. So that is an option. You can click on download and then wait for a few minutes. Or other option is to use this in the script, which will create a file. You can access the file directly by downloading it. And another third option is, which I think is mostly used. Nobody uses the search task API. The other option is to send an email. The search result can be sent out as an email, so you will receive an email. That will be the easiest option, I guess. Okay, sure. But this is to actually create a file for us out of search results. Okay. So now using this with this, task.create, and then, once you create the task you do, task.submit, and then you can check status also. So there's a task.check status also, if I'm not wrong. I am sure I'm checking the right. You create the task search task.submit, and then you have a search task. Script.
And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.